Hello everyone, welcome to the series of lectures on the course Foundations of Mathematics. In this lecture, I will talk about onto functions, also called as surjective functions. So let's see what is the definition of an onto function. A function f from the set x to the set y is said to be an onto function or a surjective function if for each point y in the codomain, that is the set capital Y, there exists a point x in the domain which is capital X such that f of x is equal to y. That means no matter which point in the codomain you pick up, you will be able to find one point in the domain which is mapped to the point to that point in the codomain, right? So if you let me draw the function. Supposing this is my domain x and this is my function from x to the set y, and this is the codomain. So this function f will be called onto if no matter which point in the y you pick up, small y let's say, corresponding to this, you should be able to find one point here such that this is mapped to this point. And this should happen for all the points in the set y. Okay. So if you want to put this using quantifiers, how will you put this? A function f from x to y is onto if to each y in y. That means for every y in y, there exists a point in the domain that is capital X. So existential quantifier. There exists a point x in X such that f of x is equal to y. Okay. So this is how the definition of an onto function looks like using quantifiers. Right. Now, one more thing to note here is for any function f from x to y, we know that the range of the function is a subset of the codomain always. Right. So let me start with one function. And I will pick up an onto function. Okay, so let me pick up an onto function. Now, because it's a function, we have already seen that the range of this function, denoted by this range of this function, is always a subset of the codomain. Right? Because what do you mean by range? Range is nothing but set of all points of the form f of x, where x is coming from the domain. That's capital X. So this f of x, these points are from the codomain. Right, you start with a domain x here and you have the codomain y. So to each point in x you have the corresponding images in y, that is f of the points from the domain, that's f of x. So range of f is always a function, is always a subset of the codomain, that's y. Now if f is onto function, can I get anything more from this? Okay, so I will start with a point in y. Let's say I have a point p in y. Okay, so p in I'm picking up a point p, small p, in the set y. Now since f is onto and y is having a point small p, what do you mean by this f is onto now? For this p, there will be a point in x which is mapped to p, right? So since f is onto, there exists a point, let me pick up m in x such that f of m is equal to p, right? Now if you see, the point m is there in x. Now the point M is there in X. This implies its image will be in the set Y. But what is the image of X? That's P, not X, sorry, that's M. This is M here. So f of M is in Y. But what is f of M? That is image of M, that's P. This implies P is there in not sorry, this is not, yeah, that's the range of F. Okay, so because X is there in X, range contains all the points of the form f of X where X is there in capital X. So because M is there in capital X now, its image will be there in the range, that's f of M, right? But f of M is equal to P, that means P is there in the range, right? So if I pick up any point in Y, that's the codomain, we can show that it is there in the range. So this means Y is a subset of the range, and that's, I'll call it as statement number 2. So by 1 and 2, what do we have? Y and range of F, they are subsets of each other. So by 1 and 2, the range of F is nothing but Y, right? The first one, that is the statement which I've marked 1, is always true, whereas the second one happens only when the function is onto. Okay, so I can put this as a result. A function f from x to y is onto if and only if range of f is equal to the codomain y. Okay, so this is one way. We started with the onto function and we showed that range is equal to codomain. You can also start with range is equal to codomain and you can show that this function is onto. Okay, so the other side I will leave it as an exercise. So you can try. That's straightforward, nothing much to prove in that. Right? So we saw what is an onto function. Now let's look at a couple of examples of onto functions. If you look at this function, a function f from R to R given by f of x is equal to 3x plus 2. Is this function onto? So question is f onto? We will show that this function f is indeed an onto function. So how do I show that a function is onto? I'll start with a point in the codomain, that's R. So let me pick up a point P in R. What I want to show? I want to show that f is onto. That means I have to find a point in the domain, that's again R, which is mapped to this P, right? So we have to find a point, let's say Q in R, such that f of Q will give you P, right? But how is f of Q defined? F of x is 3x plus 2. So f of Q would be 3q plus 2, that's P. And now I have to find this P. Sorry, I have to find this Q, right? So you can isolate this Q and you can transfer all the terms on the other side. So 3q will be P minus 2, and this implies Q is nothing but P minus 2 by 3, right? So now let's check what is f of Q. F of Q is nothing but 3q plus 2. But what is Q? That's P minus 2 by 3. So this and this will cancel out. Sorry, plus 2 is there. So 3 and 3 will cancel out and I'm left with P minus 2 plus 2, and that's P. Right? So for P equal to, for a point P in R, we have found a point Q in R, that is again the domain, and Q is given by P minus 2 by 3, such that f of Q is equal to P. Right? And hence we have shown that this function f is an onto function. right? So that was an example, a simple example of an onto function. Now, the next question that arises is, when do I say that a function is not onto? So when do we say that a function f from x to y is not onto? So I will go to the definition of an onto function using quantifiers. We stated that somewhere, that's here. So this is my statement: f from x to y is onto. And when do we say that a function is onto? If for all y in y there exists x in x such that f of x is equal to y. So I have to negate this. So what will be a negation of this? There exists a point y in y such that for every x in x, f of x is not equal to y. So the universal turns into the existential and the existential turns into the universal quantifier, right? So a function f from x to y is not onto, or you can say not surjective, if there exists at least one point in the codomain. There exists at least y in y such that no matter which x in x you pick up, no matter which point in the domain you pick up, for all the points in the domain, f of x will not be equal to y. Okay, so you should find one point in the codomain which does not have a pre-image. If you're able to do that, then you can say that the given function is not onto. Okay, so let's look at one more example now. Consider this example: a function f from z to the set of natural numbers. Z is the set of integers, right? And n is the set of natural numbers, defined by f of m is equal to m square. Now, is this function an onto function or not? Okay, so let's check that out. If this function f was onto, then every point in the set capital N, that is every natural number, will have a pre-image, right? But if you look at any number which is not a perfect square, let's say 2. 2 is a natural number, but can you find an integer whose square is equal to 2? Is this possible? Where this one is an integer? No, that's not possible, because square of no integer will give you 2, right? So this is what we will prove, that there is no integer that is in the domain of f whose square will give you 2 as the answer. Okay, so consider a point 2 in the set of natural numbers. What we will do is we will show that there does not exist any point m in z such that f of m is equal to 2, right? There is no point in z whose square is equal to 2, that is f of m is equal to 2. This is what we have to show. Now if you look at f of 0, f of 0 is how much? That's 0. F of 1 is 1, and f of minus 1 is minus 1 square, that's 1, right? So 0 is not mapped to 2, 1 is not mapped to 2, minus 1 is also not mapped to 2, right? So all these points, they are not mapped to 2, that is clear. So the only points now which are left to check from the set of integers are the numbers after 1 and before minus 1, that is 2, 3, 4, 5, all those integers, positive integers after 1, and all negative integers before minus 1. And if you see, those are the integers whose modulus is bigger than or equal to 2, right? So supposing m is an integer such that mod m is bigger than or equal to 2. That means I'm looking at the integers 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, and -2, -3, -4 and so on the left hand side, right? Now if I take such m's, then what will be f of m? That will be m square by definition of the function, right? So but m square is same as mod m square. This is one of the properties of the absolute values, right? And because mod m is bigger than or equal to 2, its square will be bigger than or equal to 4, and 4 is strictly bigger than 2. So if you pick up any integer whose modulus is greater than or equal to 2, that means the integers after 1 and before -1, then image of those points under the function f will be strictly greater than 2. That means f of m cannot be equal to 2 for all such integers, and f of 0 is not equal to 2, f of 1 is not equal to 2, and f of -1 is also not equal to 2. That means we have verified for all the integers that f of any integer is not equal to 2, right? So therefore there does not exist any integer m in Z such that f of m is equal to 2. That means the point 2 in the codomain, that is the set of natural numbers, is not having any preimage, right? And therefore the function f is not an onto function, right? So this function f defined from Z to n, defined by this, is not an onto function. Now let me take the same function and we will change its domain and codomain, and let's see what we get. So supposing I pick up a function now f from R to R such that defined by f of m is equal to m square. I am only changing the domain and the codomain. Is this an onto function? No, f is not onto, right? Why this is not onto now? Will the same counter example of 2 which we did in the last slide work here? Now if you pick 2 as your real number, then corresponding to 2 I can find the number root 2 in R. Root 2 is present here, right? So root 2 square will give you 2, and this root 2 is there in R. So this example is not going to work in this case because I've changed the domain and the codomain, right? But if you pick up any negative number here, okay, if you pick up let's say x is equal to -1, there does not exist any point m in R such that f of m is equal to -1, because square of any real number, this is nothing but m square equal to -1. That's not possible. So there is no such real number whose square is -1. That means -1 does not have a pre-image, and hence the function f is not onto, right? But can I make it onto somehow? If I remove all the negative real numbers from here, then I'm done, right? So if I define G from R to positive reals union 0, say, then every real number which is positive and 0 will have pre-images, right? So this G is onto in this case. Okay, no matter what real number you take, which is positive or 0, then you will find its square root here, which will be a real number, and that will be mapped to that particular real number. Okay, so square roots of positive numbers are well defined, so that those numbers will be sitting inside R, and each number will have a pre-image. So this function, if you change the domain to this, it becomes an onto function. Okay, so moving on to the next part. Now supposing I have some function f from R to R. Okay, so this is my x-axis, y-axis, R. I'm having R cross R, that's R2. And supposing there is one function, I will just draw a simple function here. Let's say this line, some line here, straight line. Just assume that that's a straight line. Now, supposing this line is representation of the function f. Okay, some function is there f. Now I want to check graphically whether the given function is onto or not onto. Okay, so is this function onto? No matter which point on the y-axis you take, this line is moving on indefinitely on both the sides. So no matter which point on the y-axis you take, you will get the corresponding point here. You come to the function and you drop down your line. So you will get the corresponding point x such that f of x is equal to y. Right? So no matter which point on the y-axis you take, you will get a corresponding point on the x-axis which is mapped to y, and that's here. So this point is x comma y, and this y is nothing but the image of x under the image of the point x under the function f. Right? So I can say if I pick up any horizontal line now, it should pass through the graph, or it should touch the graph at least one point for the function to be onto. Right? Only if that line touches the graph, then only I'll get the corresponding point in the set x which is mapped to the point y. Right? But if I take a function of this type, let's say the function x square, more or less like this, then this function is not onto from r to r, because I can find a horizontal line here which is not touching the graph of that function anywhere. Right? Can you see this? So this function which I've drawn in blue now is not onto, and you can see that I'm able to find a horizontal line which is not touching the graph of the function at any point. Okay, so from this I can conclude that a function f from r to r is onto if and only if every horizontal line intersects the graph of the function f at least once. So no matter where you take the horizontal line, it should touch the graph of the function at least once. Okay, so it can at least one meaning what, at least once meaning what, either once or twice or thrice, but at least one, minimum once it should touch the graph of the function. So if I draw the graph again, let me do it in general. So supposing I have this graph, some graph I will draw. Okay, let's say some straight line again. Now supposing this graph represents the function f, and suppose I'll assume that f is onto. Now what do you mean by f is onto? F is a map from r to r, that's onto. That means given any y in y, or let me pick up any point, yeah, y in y, there exists a point x in x such that f of x is equal to y. So no matter which point on the y axis you pick up, I will be able to find one point in the set x which is mapped to y, right, such that f of x is equal to y. So this point x comma y lies on the graph of the function, right? And if you can do this, then I can pick up the line y equal to, oh, let me just change the notations. I think that will create a confusion. Let me pick up alpha and beta here instead of x and y. Or let's say p or q or alpha or beta, something. There exists beta in x such that f of beta is equal to alpha. So alpha is on the y-axis here, and corresponding to this alpha, I will be able to find a beta on the x-axis in the set x such that f of beta is equal to alpha. In this point, beta comma alpha is there on the graph of the function. That means if I look at the line now, y equal to this point alpha, it will touch the graph at least at one point. Then only you will get a corresponding point on the set x. right, which is mapped to this point on the y, on the set y. So the line y equal to alpha touches the graph of f at least once, right? And that's how you can check whether a function is onto or not graphically. If you are able to find one horizontal line which does not touch the graph of the function, of course that function has to be a function from R to R, then you can conclude that the function is not onto. Okay, so this is how you can understand graphs. You can understand onto functions using their graphs. Okay, so I will wind up this session here. In the next session, I will talk about bijective functions. These are my references. Thank you.